Hi there YouTube, welcome back to Vape Reviews with Az. So in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the Cerberus clone from Angelfiremods.co.uk. So what it is, it's a 28.5mm RDA, and it was actually designed originally by Futune from UVO Systems to be married up with your Hades in both hybrid, which is how it is at the moment, or you also can use it with the top cap, and it comes with the base plate which is recessed so that when you've got it on the Hades top cap with that gap with the race section, you don't have a gap, which is a good idea. So these are $14.99. It's made from stainless steel and it's a triple coil RDA. So without further ado, I'm going to have a vape and we're going to dive straight back down there and dive straight down into the up close, and I'll show you what it's all about. Okay then, so here we have the Cerberus RDA, originally manufactured by Futune of UVO Systems, but this is obviously the clone. It's a 28.5mm dripper, and it was actually developed for use on the Hades. I have a polished Hades here, whereas the Cerberus is brushed, but one of the gripes on the Hades is because you've got the race section in the centre, a lot of atomizers you're going to see the gap around the outside. So obviously the Hades was also by UVO Systems, or was it by Futune as well? And so because of that issue they made the Cerberus, and if you look at the 510 and the underneath, there's a recess, and that's purely and simply so that when you have it onto the Hades, that gap is closed. But not just that, you can also use this in hybrid mode with Hades. So remove the Hades top cap altogether and remove this bottom portion from the Cerberus, and then that becomes your battery rattle pin, and it screws directly on there, making quite a nice looking 26650 mod and atomizer hybrid combo. So what we shall do is put the base back on and we'll have a look round. So as I say, it's 28.5 wide by 35, not including the 510 connection. We have triple Cyclops air holes, and within the Cyclops air holes you can see the 4 air holes, but there are 6. You can just choose if you wanted 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and when you adjust one, it adjusts them all. So it's made from stainless steel, and the contacts are brass. So underneath them, as I say, we've got the recess. The serial number is 3912, which doesn't matter as it's a clone. And around the top, to make it not look so boxy, we have this CNC machined groove. So all the threads are really smooth, look cut really nice, no sharp edges. And then you have, as I say, the battery rattle screw, which is brass, and then this screw here is what fastens your deck on. So what we'll do is we will just put that back on for the moment. Take off the top cap. So there you can see the 3 Cyclops air holes, and inside it's not a dome as well. Yeah, I suppose it is a dome, but it's domed off, then flattens out for your 510 connection. Now, what I have noticed, the hole for the 510 connection is very tight. So I tried to put my two puffs clone drip tip on there, and it won't go in. Pure and simple, it will not go in. But my Stingray X drip tip fits in there no problem, and it's nice and snug. So that's the top cap. And then we look at our build deck, and this is where things get rather interesting. So as you can see around the outside, you've got 6 air holes per portion, here per section, but only 4 can be selected. So however you've got your coil, it was designed for vertical coils, where what happens is you mount your coil so that they sit just in this recess here, trap under the negative and round or in the hole of the positive. So around the outside we've got 3 negatives and 3 positive connections in the middle. So it was designed for triple coils, and as you can see there's a nice deep drip well, and it's really well machined. I mean, on the back of some of the holes there are a couple of burrs from where it's been drilled, but a light sanding and that'll not be a problem. So the top cap's held in place by a single O-ring, and it does hold it in place really well, even when there's juice on there. Right, so going back to the underneath, it's a nice solid setup. So obviously you've got the brass positive pin, and then the knurled pin he says undoes as you can see. It's all solid brass with an O-ring on there, and that's your whole positive post with another O-ring. It's a nice solid block, really well machined. So it makes it really easy to clean, because then the dowel ring section also screws out, which has O-rings as well to give it a better seal. So we'll get this screwed back into place. Like so. And you take your positive deck, your brass nut, and what you want to do is line the negative up with the centre of the deck, and just tighten it the rest of the way home. And that's your positive screwed back on tight. So then you've got the hybrid bottom plate, which then screws back on, and your adjustable brass 510 pin. And that's how it all breaks down. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back on and we're going to put a build on using 27 gauge cam foil and 2.5mm drill bits. Alright, so what you're going to need is some 27 gauge cam foil, a 2.5mm drill bit, and all we're going to go for is 8 wraps. And you want to make sure that all your 8 wraps, and then you've got opposing legs, and you're going to need 3 of those coils. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the negatives and positives, take it back onto our drill bit, and you're going to sit your drill bit just in the middle of the gap, and we're going to take it so the top lead comes round the back of the positive, take a pair of pliers and just pull it into place, and then bring this lead round the back of the negative, tighten it down, oops, and then tighten down your positive. Then all we're going to do is pull it to where we want it, and then just give it a little bit of a lift, and that's one coil good to go. So do this for all 3 coils. And then when all 3 coils are mounted and trimmed, it should look something like so. So now what we're going to do is put it on a mod and give it a dry fire. Okay then, so once we have it on the mod, just going to give it a pulse fire, and we're looking nice and even. Try and do it where I'm not going to burn my hand. And they look pretty good to me. I hate the Hades mod. So what we're going to do, we're going to let that cool down, and then we're going to wick it up. So to wick it, what we're going to do is take some cotton, poke it down through the coil, and this is where you can absolutely put a ton of cotton in. Like so. And we're just gonna feed it through there. Until we've got enough to fill the space next to it, but not too much to block off your airflow holes. Like so. So you want enough in the base but still be able to get airflow, and then we're just going to trim it like so. And then we'll do the next one. And then when you have all three done, you just want to take your juice and give everything a nice priming up. Obviously you're going to get a lot of juice in here, but make sure you let it soak in. Like so. And we're just gonna and that's ready to have a vape on. Now one thing you will notice is it's only the side two that it will direct the airflow, and what it does is it like pulls it in on the angle, but what I like to do is make sure the air holes go right to the end too. And it's vaping pretty well, so we're going to go back up top and we'll talk about it a little more. Okay then, so that was the up close and build on the Cerberus. So I've put it into hybrid mode. So let me adjust some light. It looks pretty sweet. So we're going to take a vape. Now, saying it's 3 cores, it's only 27 gauge, so there's still quite a nice bit of vapour. And to be honest, in my opinion, I don't think it's all that good for flavour. I think it's just too big. It's too big a chamber. even with closing the air holes off. I mean, it's a well thought out design. It's a great quality clone, but I just think it's too big, and because it's so big, you have that big chamber, I think you sacrifice a lot of flavour, and having the third coil in there, it doesn't balance it out. But yeah, don't get me wrong, it's still very good. There is still flavour, but it's not, what's the word? It's not like a 22mm where you get that burst of flavour. It's more of an aftertaste of it with this. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame there's not much of a throat hit either. And I just think that big chamber spoils it. But anyway, so yeah. Still the $14.99 from Angelfiremods. Comes with the ability to use it in hybrid with a Hades mod. I'm not sure if it'll fit any others in hybrid. I don't have any others here. But it just lets it down on flavour. So yeah, so triple coil, 28.5mm diameter. You've got the nice big insulator in there, so you ain't got to worry about melting it and getting any shorts. And the price is 15 quid. So for me on that one, in my opinion, it is nice, as I say, but you do just lose some flavour and throat hit with it, which is a shame. But you know, not every atomizer can be good. So yeah, so that was the Cerberus, and I'll be back again soon with another review for you guys. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.